I recall a time when I was volunteering at a camp in Georgia. I I was actually participating in a project overseas. Um, I don't know what happened, but it was during one of my breaks. I felt very, very downhearted, very depressed, and I couldn't figure out what was really weighing down on my heart. I mean, there was a lot of things, but I couldn't really pinpoint what it was. And I wandered off site and just took a nap. And as I woke up, I still felt that pressure in my chest. And I was like, Lord, why do I feel so separated from you? Why do I feel so distant? And it was kind of a very interesting moment, because in that time I felt the breeze kind of like just direct my gaze to the right, and I saw this trail going up a hill. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna see where it leads. And as I began walking up this trail, I began to cry. I began to agonize in prayer, thinking, it's like, Lord, I need to get over this. I don't know what is it that is blocking me, but I need you to help me break through this depression. And as I was climbing this hill and I looked down, something told me just to look down, and at the tip of my toe was a very unusual thing. It's a heart rock, and I didn't know really what to make out of it, because it's not perfect. It doesn't have the shape you typically would see. It's very uneven, but I still took it. I appreciated it, and I continued up my trail. And as I was praying and asking the Lord, please talk to me, please show me that you're there, something told me again to look down, and at the tip of my toe was a very unusual heart-shaped rock. Again, it is a little uneven, but I was still able to identify what it was. At least this is how I felt God was leading me. But I still wasn't convinced. I felt that maybe this is just my imagination, and that I'm just making things just pop out just for the sake of thinking that God is talking to me. And I hit this part in my journey where I had to climb a little steeper. And I didn't even bother to look up, because I was very, very discouraged. I didn't want anyone that was on trails close by to actually see me crying. But something told me to look up. And as I did, literally at the very top of this hill was a cross that was draped in this royal purple. And I just felt so overwhelmed that I dropped to my knees and I crawled to the cross. And I cried. And I knelt in front of the cross. And I was like, Lord, is this what you're really telling me? That you're still here with me. You haven't left me. And the fact that I'm here, kneeling in front of a cross, it just makes me feel like you're just reminding me of your sacrifice. But again, I felt that doubt, that this was all being made up in my mind. And I heard this gentle whisper say, it's like, well, look down. And at the foot of a cross was another rock. This one was very interesting. To me, it was a little bit more balanced on each side. And it seemed to indicate to me that God was leading me and transforming me as I was coming closer to Him, closer to the foot of the cross. And that He wasn't going to leave me as long as I stayed there at the foot of the cross, that I stayed close to Him, continued to be connected with Him. And I stayed there, literally I stayed there till sunset, crying my eyes out, thinking like, Lord, thank you for reminding me what you've done for me. And as if that wasn't enough, I actually decided to continue past the cross. And I noticed something. Again, at my foot was another heart rock. This time it was a little bit curved. It didn't have that much of a feature to it. But I heard this voice said, "This is what I'm trying to teach you. When you're coming close to me, I am transforming you and I am making you balanced. I am making you whole again. But the moment you move away, you're no longer that balanced person that I'm creating you to be. So I need you to keep this in mind. That weight, that heaviness that you're feeling, allow it to bring you close to me." And I began to cry. I know I've been crying throughout this whole journey, but it was it's an experience that I can never forget. Because He taught me in that moment that He was still present. And that even through the smallest things, He can teach me that He is close by. He was telling me, He was reminding me, maybe even in questioning me, why? Why don't you just allow me to love you?